is Max with Best Bass Gear, and I'm going to be putting new tuning machines on this P-Bass. Somewhat obviously, you have to take the strings off to do it. Now you're just going to throw them to the side. Turn it over. These are vintage style tuning keys, and I'm going to be replacing them with Hipshot HB7s, which are as close as a match in the vintage mount as is possible to have. There's no exact retrofit for the tuners that are used on this SX P-Bass, but we'll drill a few new holes and I think they're going to work pretty well. Okay, and the first thing that I want to do is replace the bushings that are inlaid into the peg head, so I have to remove the old ones. I don't know if I'm the only one, but I've got a taper dowel that I like to use to just kind of wiggle each one loose and then pop it up from the bottom. It's always worked for me. And then we've got our new bushings, and they almost just push right in on their own. I'm going to put a little bit of, just a little bit, not excessive, soap on threads just to facilitate them being pushed in. You could reuse the old bushings, and I often do, but I thought for the purpose of this demonstration I might as well show you how I install bushings when the need arises. You could bang away at them with a hammer, but that might damage them, and it's all shaking the guitar and bangy bangy, so I just push them in with a clamp. I put a block of wood on the back of the peg head so that I'm not putting any dents, and as I tighten the vise, or clamp rather, each bushing is pushed right down into place. Best way that I've found to do this. Okay, that was easy. Now, onto the next part. I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but even though these two tuners seem like they're almost exactly the same, the drill pattern is slightly different. And I'm going to have to locate a few new holes on each tuner to be able to mount these. And I like to make sure that I'm putting them on square. I don't know if I'll be able to do this. Oh, I'm just going to have to eyeball. But I'm going to start down here, turn the key this way, and use a square on the peg head to stabilize the tuner while I center punch the holes where I want the new holes to be. The small problem is that some of the holes are too close and that the drill bit is going to want to fall in, so I'm actually going to fill a few holes. Wasn't really sure if I was going to have to do this or not, so I'm just improvising. I have to re-drill this hole. I've just gone over to the disc sander and shaped the end of that dowel to fill the hole that I want. I'm using my flush cutters to trim that flush with the wood. 1 drop of thin super glue right on top of the fill piece. Just like that. It has to be thin. Well, this is a little tedious, but it's the only way that I know that it's going to be right. I'm going to fill all 4 holes on each tuner. Four screws per tuner. Well, that was a pain, but at least we're getting to see all the little problems that you could run into installing a set of tuners and how to resolve them. And this is going to work just great. Now that we've got that behind us. Now, where was I? I'm going to center punch each one of my new holes. Check it as many times as you'd like before you drill and deepen out your center punch so you're completely happy with the way it looks when you're looking through the parts, the holes in the part. I like that one. The last one I just have to eyeball because I can't put the square on in any way that's advantageous to me, so I'm just going to place the adjacent tuner while I look at it. And I'm just going to go with what looks straight to me. There. Yeah. Funny thing is now I can see how crooked the original tuners must have really been. Obviously they didn't care as much as we do, but these will go on nice and straight. Using a depth stop on my drill bit so that I don't go through the peg head, which would be a very bad thing. I'm just going to go and pre-drill every one of these screws, clean the flutes off after each drill. Okay, moving on. Take each one of my new screws and rub a little soap on the thread to help cut the new hole. I'm just going to get each one started and then come back and wind them in with the machine, so I don't have to do all that work by hand. The spacing is a little tight on these. Base plates are rubbing a little bit. They won't slip by each other. It'll still work, but I'm going to have to modify one of these tuners. After I do it, no one will ever know, but I'm going to just grind a little bit off of this tuner, make it drop in next to the next adjacent tuner. There, much better. I guess you just never know what you might run into. But there's almost nothing that you could find that couldn't be solved. Think about it. There, that pretty much does it. All our new tuners are on and in place, and we can just put the strings back on again. And that's it. That's how I install vintage tuners.